Hello, welcome back to a brand new reading vlog. If you haven't gathered by the title, I am going to be doing a reread vlog that is going to be full spoiler, so I can literally talk about absolutely everything. I'm in my year where I'm like trying to reread books I read quite a while back. So the first book I read back at the beginning of 2023. And then the second book is what I read near the end of 2023, in August 2023. So I feel like it's been a while since I've read these books. I can't even say it's been the last year. And I'm in that year, like I've reread a few books this year, and I haven't done that for a while, where I did like just rereading my favourite books. And I really wanted to do it for a video. I got the inspiration from watching Belle Therese. She did it to get out of a reading slump. I'm not in a reading slump right now. Like I'm in that part of my mood where I just want to read and read and read. However, I don't want to put myself in a reading slump, so I feel like sometimes taking a break from reading newer books, I guess you could say, and reading books I haven't read before, and just reading something I have, like light work basically, makes me excited. But the fact that I get to share with you every moment of my favourite bit without worrying about it being a spoiler makes me happy. Now, I guess you're wondering what books I'm reading or going to reread. There might be more than two. I might decide to extend it and do another one, but right now there's only two books, and the first one, this might not be the first one I pick up, but one of the first one I'm showing you is Terms and Conditions by Lauren Asher. This is the second book in the Dreamland Billionaire series. This is Iris and Declan's story, and I read Fine Print, which is Rowan and Zara's story, back in December, early January time, which I read for the last rereads video. And ever since I finished that book, I've been wanting to continue the series again, and I wanted to get back into it, so I'm picking this one up because I just miss it, and this one was my favourite of the three, I think. I can't remember. I do think I loved the final offer, but I think this was my favourite of the three. So I cannot wait to read this one again and just see my annotations as well, because I know I annotated a little bit in this book. And this is when I was just getting into annotating. So yeah, I'm really excited to read this book again. It is on Kindle, so I'm going to be predominantly reading it on my Kindle. And then the second one is Heartless by Elsie Silver. Now, I haven't done a reread of Flawless. However, because I've already read the series and these are interconnected standalones, I think I can actually get away with reading this one. I miss Miss Cade, I miss Willa, I miss everything about this book, so I cannot wait to read it and can't wait to see their story again and just be back in that world. Hello. Okay, it is time to finally start the first book for this video. The first book I am rereading. I have been away for a week, hence why for you no time has passed, but for me a whole week has passed since I last filmed a video, and it feels very weird, very, very weird. However, the first book we are going to start rereading is Terms and Conditions by Lauren Asher. Now, this is the second book in the Dreamland Billionaire series. In the previous reread video, I actually reread the fine print, and since then all I've been thinking about is rereading this book. So finally, after all this time, I am rereading this book. This was one of my favourite books in the series. I can't quite work out which is my favourite, whether it's this or what's the last one, Final Offer, because I really loved the Final Offer, and I do say that was one of my 5-star reads. But this was also a 5-star read. I think I prefer this dynamic, but I loved that one as well. But I absolutely loved this book. So I cannot wait to reread this book. However, this book follows Declan and Iris. Declan is the oldest brother in the Kane brothers. I had to forget the last name. It's the oldest brother in the Kane brothers, and his rules to get the inheritance is he has to marry and produce a child, which he is so against doing, but he has to do to get his inheritance. So they're trying to get his personal assistant Iris is trying to find the perfect person to be his wife for so long, and every person just doesn't match. So in the end, she goes, fine, I'll do it, because she knows him well enough to be like, well, it's fine. So she agrees to do it, and you basically see their dynamic of, they're not in love, but they're trying to date, and I'm so excited. Well, not date, they're married, and they have to live a married life, and they have to make it convincing as possible, because if it's not believed, then the dad's not going to believe it, and yeah. However, I loved this book and I cannot wait to reread it. I will probably be reading it more on the Kindle because it is on Kindle Unlimited and it's just easy for me to read on Kindle. Oh my god. I'm like 13% of the way through and I'm like reminding myself, I now remember why I loved it. It is very grumpy versus Sunshine, and I forgot. With like Declan being the most moodiest man you'll ever meet, who doesn't show any sense of personality or like he has feelings. And then you've got Iris, who is the opposite, very Sunshine. Also, if you see me sniffling, I think my hay fever is playing up because it won't stop today. However, 13% through and I'm loving it. We've had some good things happen so far. I have been reading it on my Kindle because obviously it's easier to pack this than my book. However, I do want to read it physically again, so maybe I'll take the book with me tomorrow rather than the Kindle, who knows. However, I'm on chapter 7 and I have a few things I just want to share. But I absolutely love both Declan and Iris, specifically currently Iris at the moment. There's a moment, so we all know if you've read the series that I'm sure if you're watching this video knowing that there's spoilers in it, you haven't read the series or you are not going to probably read it or you're not really bothered about spoilers, but if you read the series, Rowan, Declan and Cal have their father Seth, who they don't like, and they're trying to make sure that he doesn't get any of the inheritance, hence them doing what they have to do in the books. So Declan's job is he has to get married and have a child to become CEO of Dreamland and to claim his inheritance. And the dad is not someone that they like, and Iris is Declan's personal assistant and knows very much what his dad's like, and knows that his dad is not probably the nicest person or the person she wants to have a conversation with, let alone do anything with, let alone become part of the family, I guess. In the fact of like, they don't speak to their dad, so it's okay. However, there's some quotes in this that Iris said after the engagement happens. So basically they get engaged out of the fact that she just goes, okay, look, you need to find a wife, you need a wife, know what everyone you choose, you're running away from you or pushing away. So she's just going to step in and save him basically by becoming his wife. And they have this whole party where they announce it and goes, they're going to get married in a couple of weeks. And the dad's at this party. And his dad, eventually, Seth, their dad, corners Iris. Iris basically tries to pay her out and says however much Declan's offering her, he'll pay double to stop her from marrying him. And then she acts dumb and like, oh my god, I know, I love him, la da da. When obviously this is not a love marriage, it is literally a marriage of convenience. It's a marriage, contractual marriage. But by the end of that like scene with his dad, she says, if I wanted some fatherly advice from a deadbeat dad, I'd call my own father, which I just love to come back. But then also she then goes, he says something, I can't remember what he says because I didn't highlight it, but then she goes, I sure hope not. I thoroughly enjoy watching you make a fool of yourself. Like, it is quite funny that it's the fact that she has the balls to stick up to his dad and is not scared of what he says, which absolutely you must love. You love that. However, you can clearly tell in some other parts of the book, so far, even in the 30%, that Declan actually is attracted to her, but he's trying his hardest to prove that he's not because he doesn't really believe in love. I am so excited though to continue this book. I'm very excited. I have two things I want to show you though. First of all, I got a new t-shirt from TikTok Shop. If I can turn the top, and on the front it says new chapter. And then on the back it has antisocial book club. So I'm going to be wearing this I think on Saturday when I do my 24 hours of reading. However, there's something else I wanted to show you. I actually bought 4 of these, but I'm only going to show you one. I bought this F1 Lego. It's mystery Lego box, and I can find out what car it is when I open this. I'm actually quite nervous because the 2 I really want right now is McLaren and Ferrari. which is why I ordered 4. So I have options. I don't really want Red Bull because I'm not a fan of Max Verstappen, but I have recently got into my F1 phase. I'm really enjoying F1 at this current moment, and so it just makes sense that I got this as well. I haven't got much time to talk because my parents are on the way home, so I was going to do my intro for my other video here, but I don't think I'm going to have time to do that, so we'll talk about this book. Obviously we are currently rereading Terms and Conditions by Lauren Asher. Now, I absolutely am loving this book. I am loving getting to reread Declan and Iris' story, but there's so many things to it that I'm obsessed with that I didn't realise I'd love as much as I am. For example, the tension between Iris and Declan, like, I forgot how much I loved it until I have been reading it. So, however, I do want to talk about some of the quotes that I am loving from it. I took some screenshots of this today, so we shouldn't have any problems. But there's so much happening with Declan and Iris. We've had their wedding, and on their wedding night, he was a bit of a dick. Sorry, excuse the term, but he was. Which is not, he's normal like that. It's normal for him to be like that, but like in normal terms, he's normally a bit of a mean person. However, he's a little, I would think the way he treated Iris on the wedding night, I think, was the worst I've seen it so far. However, there's one section of the book where Iris tells Declan that she'd once kissed Cal on a drunk night out. Cal is Declan's youngest brother, which is the final book, is his story, and she's saying, this is what he says: he breaks out into a full-blown smile. If it makes you feel better, the kiss was terrible. This was Cal telling Declan, I should say, not Iris telling Declan. And then and Declan goes, how the fuck is that supposed to make me feel better? I can't get the image of them kissing out of my goddamn brain, no matter how much I try to wipe my mind of the last 5 minutes of this conversation. In italics. Why does it bother you in the first place? Then he goes, because she told me they were just friends. Italics, right. You keep telling yourself that. It's just quite obvious that there's something about Iris that is drawing Declan to her, whether he likes it or not. And then at the end of that chapter, he then goes, kiss her again and I'll enjoy ripping your tongue from your throat. And then later on he goes, because then he goes, the only reason I told you about our kiss is so that you stop thinking I want to make a move on her. I'm not interested in her like that, trust me. Because the kiss was terrible, I repeated, that's Declan. And then Cal goes, because she was never meant to be mine in the first place. And then in Declan's inner monologue, it's damn right she wasn't. Fake marriage or not, Iris is destined to be with one man and one man only. In italics, me. It does bother me that because he knows that, why is he not, like, why is he being a dick to her and doing anything to push her away? I know he doesn't do feelings, but it kind of feels like he's trying to, like, push her away. Then at the wedding, she gets a bit drunk and she goes to him, maybe you care about me after all. He goes, that's the alcohol talking. She goes, I sigh. Jose does have a way with words. And he goes, his arms tighten around me. Who the fuck is Jose? However, I am really enjoying it and I kind of think this is going to be 5-star already again, which is good because I am loving this book and I cannot wait to continue Iris and Declan's story and getting to see everything unfold because we've got so much more coming up. Like this honeymoon, I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly, the honeymoon is where the first romantic, like actual romantic thing that happens that's not fake happens, but I can't remember. So we'll see. Okay, I can officially say I have finished Terms and Conditions by Laura and Asher for the second time. Oh no, I just put my bookmark. That's not good. Finished this book, absolutely adored it. Devoured the last 14%. Loved it. Loved it. Still a 5-star read. Definitely still a 5-star read. I just can't tell you how much I loved it. And that ending. And the parents in the epilogue. It was just so cute. I also, when I first read it, I don't think this has the extended epilogue in because I didn't read that before. Because I don't recognise that in the slightest. The way he managed to win her over after that argument was, in some ways, great. He bought her a dog because she made up the story of how she wanted a dog, and like she had certain specifications of what she wanted from a dog, and so he then bought her a dog. It was great. I loved it, and I'm so happy I finished this book because, yeah, still a 5-star. So I'm glad that I read it and still had the same feelings as I had when I read it the first time. Probably stronger because I felt like more connected to it, so very happy that I have finally finished this book because it is something I needed to do. However, tomorrow I will be starting this book. I'm so excited, guys. I'm so excited. Hello, just a little bit of an update. I've put you here, as in the mic here, because I feel like it might be annoying for you to see me keep holding it, like especially close to my mouth. So, if my hair brushes, I'm going to try and keep my hair behind my neck so that it doesn't brush against it. But I also don't like it because I feel like I look weird. So, like that. Anyway, I have an update on this book. I have read 5 chapters so far and I'm already hooked on it again. This book. I didn't forget, but I kind of forgot things that happened at the beginning, but I also kind of forgot my obsession with this book. It's always been my obsession, but I love it. So this book follows Cade and Willa. This is the second book in the Chestnut Spring series, and this is following Willa, who is Summer from the first book's best friend, and Cade, who is Rhett from the first book's brother. I have read, like I said, 5 chapters. I'm 13% of the way through and I'm obsessed already. So Cade has a son called Luke, and he needs a nanny for him over the summer period whilst he's off school. And the person who usually looks after him during school time is not available because not available. She's available, but she's not fast enough to she's quite old, so she's not agile enough to look after a 5-year-old all day and keep him entertained. So he's looking for a nanny, and it takes him forever to find one. He dismisses absolutely everyone and anyone who comes in, and eventually someone's like, I've got someone, and basically hires her best friend Willa to basically the nanny, because he tells someone just to hire someone. So someone hires Willa to be the nanny of Luke. Before he finds out that it's Willa, he meets Willa at a cafe. He goes to get a coffee, and in that time he meets Willa, and but doesn't know who she is until later on. And she drops her panties that she had on the floor, and he catches and picks them up, and it's so funny. Someone brings Willa to Cade's house to meet Luke and to meet Cade, and then Cade finds out that actually it's her. It's the lady with the pants, the underwear. And his first result is, no, you're not hiring her. We're not hiring her to be his nanny, to look after him. And Summer's not having it. So, and then Luke wants to play with Summer and her friend, as in Willa. So they go outside and basically spend time, and then Cade is frustrated, all that crap. And then eventually he goes to Rhett's house because Summer's gone, and he's like, well, where's he gone? She gone, and he goes to Rhett, who then he then hears his son, and basically Willow is helping Luke climb trees, and at first he's freaking out, and then he's like, it's fine. And then, and I'll read you some quotes that I highlighted in a minute. Then he gets to eventually he's like, okay, fine. She turns up the next day for her first nannying shift, does great, but then is literally not happy with how he does not trust her at all. Like, he trusts he trusts his teachers, but does not trust her. I get it, like, you don't really know her, but she's also like, she's not going to live like that, she's going to be treated like that. So she stands up for herself as an independent woman, and a strong independent woman, and I love that. There's one thing I love about Willa, is she's a strong independent woman. Hello, we're back to holding it. Sorry, don't think I'm going to be talking for long, but there is something I forgot about the banter in this book. I've just sat and read like at least 3 chapters of the book so far, tonight, I think, yes. And honestly, the banter, I forgot how good the banter is in this good book. Not just between Cade and Willa, but also between like the whole group. So you like Harvey as in Cade's dad. I forgot how many great jokes he brings up to the dinner table in this book, and I'm like laughing my head off. You've got Luke is just the sweetest, funniest boy ever, and I love him. And it's just everything. I can't get over it. I think it's just such a good book, and I'm only on chapter 9, and I'm obsessed. This book is, I now know why this is one of those books that I cannot stop thinking about, because I read this in 2023. It's 2025, and I haven't actually, it's one of those books I have not stopped thinking about in 2 years. And like, I have forgotten things that have happened in this book, I won't lie, but I do that with majority of the books. The only one I don't think I've ever forgotten is Daisy Jones. I've even forgotten things that happened in Archer's Voice. Does that mean that's not like one of my favourite reads ever? No, it still is. But yeah, this is like, I literally love this book so much. And we've just got the nickname that Cade has given Willa said out loud to Willa. Her nickname from Cade is, drum roll, is Red. And I love it. I just love it. I love it when books give people that guys in books give the girls nicknames, because those nicknames are just everything, and they say so much more about the relationship than anything. Because if someone didn't like you, they wouldn't give you a nickname like that. You know what I mean? So we're gonna ignore how bad my hair looks, because it looks like an utter mess right now. However, I'm going to quickly update you of where I've got. In Heartless by Elsie Silver, we have made it to the 52%, so we made it to the halfway mark of this book. And I am obsessed. Guys, I am obsessed. It's like being back in the world. I mean, I am back in the world, but I'm loving it. We've had some great scenes. My favourite scene has just happened. So Willa is, Cade's son Luke gets sick with a bug in the car. And so Willa looks after him to the point where she gets sick and Cade has to look after her. My favourite scene happens. I just loved it, and it was just the fact that Willa was trying to be independent, and Cade was like, no, let me look after you. And I'm just like, oh my God. I am loving it. I actually think I could be finished with this a lot quicker than I expected to, because it's just such an easy read. I did get a delivery I really wanted to show you because it is book related in some ways, and I thought, oh yes. I've been waiting a week for it. Well, not even a week, I think I was looking at the weekend. So I was shocked that it kind of said it kind of came earlier than I expected, to be honest. Oh my God, why can't I open this book? Why? Oh. Let me try and get into it without actually, like, you know, making so much noise. Oh, okay, why can't that bend? It's going to be in another box, which really annoys me. Like a box within another box. Well, I don't know what, there's so much paper and stuff. I don't understand why. Okay. I'm really excited for this though. I'm so excited for this. So if you haven't been watching my vlogs recently, you might not know I'm a little bit obsessed with the Boys of Thomas series. Like, I love the Boys of Thomas series at the moment. So I saw this on TikTok and was influenced to buy it. But it is basically a fake Stanley Cup with also Boys of Tom, and you've got Tom in college, you've got Gussie Gibbsy was here, AM plus JL, which is Ethan Malloy and Joey Lynch. We've got Hi Shannon, Hi Johnny, Huey Biggs. You've got If This Is Love, then it's you are love. I don't know if is that from a book I should know? I don't know. You've got Hey Queen, which is like what Joey calls Aoife. I'm obsessed. I saw this and was like, I need it. I need a Boys of Torrent cup. This is just perfect in all shapes and forms. I'm so happy, and I am so happy I have this. So this will be my new cup for home. Then my one I usually use for home will be my cup for when I go to rehearsals and stuff. Hello, I'm holding this today because every time I put it on here it just falls into my chest and I don't know why. However, I have an update, and I was gonna do this all with my, like, not in my hands, so I have free hands, but no. I have finished Heartless by Elsie Silver, which is the second book in the Chester Spring series, the second book of this video, and nothing has changed. My thoughts on this book has not changed in the 2 years since I read it last. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I loved the humour in this book. I'm putting a fan on, sorry, but it had to happen. I was trying my hardest not, but I know all I'm going to think about is how hot I am. However, I loved this book exactly like I did last time. 5 stars all around. I loved Cade and Willow's relationship. I think their like third act breakup in this book was very, I wouldn't say like obviously it was great, but I think it was handled so maturely. So as this is a spoiler video, I can tell you Willa finds out she's pregnant with Cade's baby, and like the last girl he got pregnant was Talia, who is Luke's mum, and she basically said that she was not on birth control specifically so she could get pregnant, and she didn't, like, that it was a way to trap Cade basically. And although Cade obviously says this is like her trapping him, like maybe might have been not great, however Luke's the best thing that ever happened to him. Like obviously Willa didn't want to do that to Cade, didn't want to trap him with another baby when they weren't planning for it, they hadn't prepared for it. She had told him she was on birth control, and then she got really sick, and basically she basically didn't keep it down for like 2 days because she got really sick, and so she felt like she was trapping him with her baby, with their baby. So she decides, I'm going to like leave you time to think. I'm going to go back to the city and sort stuff out there, get a talking appointment. Summer, her best friend, who is the character in Flawless, comes out and basically sits her down and has a whole like lecture, not a lecture, but like, gives her a little speech. And yeah, it was just, and then she comes back and happy ever after. And I really enjoyed that. I loved how that was handled so maturely, rather than it wasn't like, oh, you're pregnant, I'm walking away, they don't know what's going on. which I genuinely thought it was that. Like, I know he went silent a bit, but it wasn't like, oh, if you've read 50 Shades of Grey, it's my best way to, I don't know why it's my best way to describe it, but it's the one I can think about at the moment. In like the last book and the last film, Anna gets pregnant, and instead of like calmly talking about it or internally freaking out and goes silent, he literally shouts at her and then walks off, gets drunk, and yeah. So I think that is a bit of a shitty way to deal with it. This wasn't. I think the difference comes is that in 50 Shades of Grey, Christian never actually admitted he wanted to be a father. It was never something in his mind of wanting to be because of the way he grew up. Don't know why I'm comparing Heartless to 50 Shades of Grey, but obviously Cade is already a dad and had a great dad growing up. But I don't know why I've just compared Heartless to 50 Shades. Am I okay? They're like nothing alike. I absolutely loved this book for a second time, and there was a reason I gave it a 5-star the first time. I was watching Sarah Caroli doing rereads, because she did rereading her 5-star reads for her latest video, and she said there's something about reading a book a second time that makes it even more, like, it feels even more amazing and more something. I can't remember what she said, but it feels like better, like, you feel even stronger about the book the second time you read it, and I do believe in that for both this book and Terms and Condition. I can't remember to get a book, but yeah. However, if you did enjoy this video, should I just wrap up what books I read? Let's do that. So for this video, I read Terms and Conditions by Lauren Asher, which I read back in January 2023, and I loved it. I remember reading it. It was like, I read it straight after Twisted Games. I finished Twisted Games and I picked that book up, I'm pretty sure. And I remember being like, I don't know if this is going to be any good, because after reading Twisted Games, I was like, and then I fell in love with Terms and Conditions. Rereading it this year was proof that I loved it still. I thoroughly enjoyed that book. So Terms and Conditions follows Iris and Declan. You got my thoughts throughout most of this video, or the beginning of the video, and I did love it. I loved it so much. I still gave it 5 stars. I felt more connected to it this time than I did the first time, which means something, so yeah. Then we read Heartless by Elsie Silver. I read this first of all in August 2023, and I fell in love with it then, and I have fallen in love with it again now. So 5-star read. Anyway, I am now going to stop rambling, but if you did enjoy this video, then please give it a thumbs up. Please comment down below. If you want to see me do more rereading videos and spoiler videos, then let me know. If I do spoiler videos, they will be of books that I have read, because usually they're ones that everyone else has probably read more than ones that I haven't, because I read a lot of popular BookTok books, so I feel like rereading ones and doing spoiler ones there is fine. Doing spoiler videos for books that have just come out or people have not read, I feel like is not great, and I would not do that at all. I don't mind spoiler videos, but I'll only watch them if I either have no interest in the book or I've already read the book. So yeah, but if you do want me to do more rereading vlogs, let me know, and I will definitely try and incorporate them more into my channel, because I've done 2 this year, and I will hope to incorporate at least 1 more this year, maybe in Bookmas. Who knows? I am thinking of doing Bookmas again this year, but we'll see. But anyway, I will end this video here. If you did enjoy, please give it a thumbs up, please comment down below, please subscribe, and I will see you again very soon with another video.